Hey there, thanks for tuning in today. I'm just sitting here at the vise getting ready to tie a series of flies. This one's pretty easy. It's a Krystal bugger. It's great for beginners. It's only got a couple materials, it's super durable. But it's also great for folks that get out and fish a lot. You know, if you lose this fly, it's not a big deal. Also great for guides, you know, something you can have dozens of these and not worry if your clients lose a bunch of them. Probably one of the most universally recognized streamers out there. Everyone knows how to tie it as far as there's just a lot of videos out there, but for me, I wanted to get something out for beginners, so it's not intimidating. You can make a really awesome fly with only a few materials. You don't have to break the bank and spend thousands on a bunch of materials if you're just getting into it. A little bit of Marabou, a little bit of Krystal Chenille, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna tie a super simple fly, probably one of the most universally recognized flies in the fly fishing community, the woolly bugger. In this case, we're going to tie like a Krystal bugger. We're going to use very few materials. I'm going to show you how easy this is for those of you that are new to fly fishing, or that guide or just need simple flies that are quick and easy to tie that are very durable. For starters, we've got a 3 X-Hard standard length Mustad hook, an S803906, a little shorter than normal hooks for woolly buggers, but in this case we're going to make a very relatively short one. We're just going to use some brown strung Marabou, some blood quill Marabou there from Hareline, and then just some Krystal flash chenille and a rusty brown. And anytime you can get material that'll wrap on a shank and basically make it a one-stop material, it's going to be really valuable, especially if you're trying to tie a bunch of flies and crank out a bunch and not make the most pretty flies you can that you don't want to lose. For the bead here, I've got a Rip Lips tungsten slotted bead. This is in a 3/16 size. Great eBay find there. Let's get right into it. So I got my thread base going, my hooks in the vise. Going to start off with a little piece of this Marabou. Not a whole lot. We don't want to crowd the tail. We want to make sure it's able to swim quite a bit. As a general rule of thumb for woolly buggers, usually people go about about the length of their shank as far as how long of a tail they'll make. For me, I like to go just a little bit longer than that, so I'm going to grab my Marabou and maybe go about a shank and a half or so. And you notice it's the amount I've got here is pretty sparse, but yet at the same time it's going to be able to be visible to fish. Of course, it's not just invisible. And it'll also freely move, give it off some nice wiggle that woolly boogers are known for. So we're going to pinch this off at our tie-in point here, get that tied in. Now, one of the big things you want to make sure with tying flies is making them as durable as you can possibly make them. For me, a lot of times people just cut this material off right here. I actually would like to tie this right in, so I'm just going to tie that forward, almost like spiraling in it. Spiral it forward. You don't want to get too much bulk with this process, but the main reason I do that is to make that as durable as I can so that tail doesn't fall out. And we'll move our thread back to our tie-in point. Get that nice and tidied up. Alright, and next we're going to take that Krystal flash chenille and rusty brown. I like to keep my chenilles and things like this in their bag. I don't like to cut off a length, mainly because I don't want to waste anything. To get a nice tie-in point, you're going to want to make sure you have stripped off some of this material so you can pull off some of those fibers to start. We'll present that to the fly. I like to go, a 1/4 inch to even a 1/2 inch sometimes of this inner cord material. That way you can tie it in just like with that Marabou. You tie it in so that it doesn't fall out. It's nice and durable. We'll tie that forward and we'll go all the way back to our tie-in point just to give it a little bit of security. And then we'll go all the way right behind this this tungsten bead head. For wrapping this, we're just going to go touching turns, trying to hide that black underbody as much as we can. It's okay if it shows through. Like I said, this is a pretty durable, quick, easy fly to tie, so you don't have to worry about getting too technical with the look. But it is nice to cover up that underbody, unless you want it to show through that thread base, I should say. We'll just keep wrapping this forward, pulling back these fibers. This is just like wrapping any other kind of hackle. you want to make sure that you're not trapping fibers underneath. Those fibers are going to help attract fish. You can see already, I mean, this is starting to look like a finished fly. I mean, it's the great thing about these materials that are on cords, like your chenilles and things like that. It makes for almost like a completed fly. This way you don't have to wrap a dubbing underbody and do like a hackle through here. It's just a nice, easy body and hackle. Go ahead and tie that off, and at this point you're pretty much done. I mean, you've got, your basically completed fly. It's just a brown Krystal bugger, but I use this, up here in Alaska. I mean, this is one of those universal flies, tied and used with success around the world. You can get this, crystal flash material in a lot of different colors and just match it with your marabou, or mix and match. The brown and green and black combos all do great. Super, super easy. If you'd like, you could finish off that head with some cement. I like to just leave it as is. There's the completed fly, nice and easy. Other than that, the only thing I'll say about these tungsten heads, they're relatively inexpensive. They're not as durable as most, what you would kind of expect of a tungsten head. So, they do break if you hit, like, if you're casting and cast it into rocks behind you or things like that. So just be aware, check your fly often. Other than that, guys, hopefully you guys like this fly. Super simple, easy, almost beginner level tie. It's great for guides. You can tie a zillion of these and be good to go. But hopefully you like this video. You subscribe. I'm going to be coming up with a lot of this kind of stuff throughout the year. Thanks for watching.